The crowd of warriors fell silent as the steel doors creaked open. Through the gap emerged a figure, tall, gaunt, and wrapped in medical gauze. Her lavender skin was marred by burned scars and slashes, her once regal silver hair now tangled and lifeless. She limped forward, restrained by shackles that hissed with plasmalock technology. "This," General Routh spat from the dais, "is Xelara of the Xelara. Once a war bride candidate, now a failed experiment. Broken in mind and spirit." Beside him stood Captain Dane Myles, the only human on the diplomatic mission to the Yarthan Wastes, a frontier empire ruled by strength, conquest, and brutal honor. "She is your challenge, human," the general sneered. "You speak of mercy, of healing. Let's see if your soft ideals can fix what battle could not." The gathered alien warlords laughed, a thunderous sound like volcanic eruptions. They didn't believe for a second that Dane could succeed where they had failed. To them, Xelara was a husk, a former weapon discarded because she had collapsed under the weight of trauma and betrayal. Dane's jaw tightened. He stepped forward, his voice calm but steel-edged. "I accept." The chamber given to him was more a containment cell than a recovery suite. Xelara sat in the corner, eyes glowing faintly beneath her matted hair, tracking his every move with feral suspicion. Her muscles twitched at random, and her claws tapped rhythmically against the wall like a caged beast. Dane didn't speak at first. He just placed a tray of food down and sat on the floor, cross-legged, facing her from a respectful distance. Day after day, he returned. No orders. No lectures. Just simple actions. He brought fresh water. Repaired her shattered communicator. Even fixed the light panel above her bed so it didn't flicker non-stop. On the 6th day, she finally whispered, "Why?" He looked up, surprised. "Because you're not an object. You're a person. And no one deserves to be discarded." Her eyes narrowed. "I was built to kill. I failed. Now I am useless." "You were wounded," Dane said gently. "Not useless. They can't see the difference." 2 weeks in, she had stopped trying to bite him. By the 3rd, she let him clean her wounds and helped untangle her hair. Her voice, once rasping and broken, began to return to something melodic. She even asked him about Earth. "Do you have warriors like me?" she asked one night. "We have soldiers," he said. "But we try not to break them for sport." She laughed. It was short and jagged, but real. "I was a prize," she said. "The most powerful among the candidates. But the last battle. I saw my own kin slaughtered. I hesitated. And they called it weakness." He looked at her for a long moment. It was humanity. She didn't reply, but she didn't argue either. News began to spread among the alien ranks. The broken Xelara woman, once considered a shameful failure, was standing again. Walking without restraint. Talking. Thinking. Some came to watch in secret, hoping to see her turn on the human and rip him apart. Others wanted to prove he was using some trick or serum. None could explain what they saw. Compassion. Patience. Connection. General Routh summoned Dane one evening to his war chamber. Dozens of commanders sat in a ring of firelight, sneering and whispering. "You were given a wreck," Routh growled. "Now she walks like a warrior again. What sorcery is this?" Dane folded his arms. "I listened. I treated her with dignity. Something your people clearly forgot how to do." A hush fell over the room. Routh leaned forward. "She was designed for one thing, battle. If you believe she's whole, then let her fight again. A true test. A duel. She's not your weapon anymore." "Then you fight," Routh said with a cruel smile. "And she'll be the prize. If you win, you take her. If you die, she returns to our cages." Dane looked to the back of the hall. Xelara stood there, eyes blazing. She stepped forward. "No," she said coldly. "I fight. Not for them. Not for you. But for myself." The arena was carved into the side of a dormant volcano. Thousands of Yathan spectators gathered to see the once-broken alien woman stand against the monstrous Harkath champion, a behemoth twice her size with stone-plated skin and thunderbolt fists. Xelara entered the ring barefoot, no armor, just a simple wrap of cloth. Dane stood at the gate, watching with bated breath. The horn sounded. The Harkath roared and charged. Xelara didn't move. Not until the last second. Then she danced. A whirl of speed and grace, ducking under the beast's arm, slashing with razor claws across its knee. It stumbled, surprised. The crowd gasped. Again and again, she moved, no longer a mindless weapon, but a master of her own body, her own fury. Where once she would have fought for approval, now she fought for freedom. With a final, leaping twist, she landed on the creature's back, drove her claws into a neural weak point, and dropped it with a controlled, non-lethal blow. The arena fell silent. Then erupted in disbelief. She stood tall in the center, panting, blooded, but whole. Later that night, Routh approached Dane in the courtyard, sour-faced and stiff. "She won. You sound surprised." "She shouldn't have been able to. She was ruined." "No," Dane said calmly. "She was never yours to break in the first place." Behind them, Xelara stepped forward, a clean robe on, her hair braided. "I am not your shame," she said to Routh. "I am your warning." The general growled low but turned away. He knew better now. Dane and Xelara sat together at the edge of the outpost's landing platform, stars shimmering above. "You don't have to stay," he said. "We can go back to Earth. Or anywhere." She looked at him, eyes soft but alert. "I will come with you," she said. "Not as your prize. Not as your challenge. As my friend." She smiled. "Maybe more. But never less." He laughed gently. "That's more than enough." As the shuttle lifted from the alien plains, 1,000 warriors watched them go, not with scorn this time, but awe. They had tried to shame him with a broken woman. Instead, he helped her rise. And what happened next? She made history.